Is that you guys? Yes, it's me. I'm back. And if you guys want to, if you guys want to listen to the major updates that I have to share with you guys, stick to the very end of the episode. Haha! Yes, I have returned for yet another episode of Late Night Talks with Ray, your host, me, Ray Fortes. I don't know why I pointed to you guys. I meant to point at myself. For those of you who are new to this channel, to this series, or don't know who I am, yes, my name is Ray. I'm a recent graduate of a journalism bachelor's degree. And now I guess I consider myself as a freelance journalist, just trying to feel my way around and start up this journey toward becoming a full-time journalist sometime down the road. But anyways, I hope you guys are happy to see me back. I am trying to work on my commitments in terms of uploading monthly for this series. I will assure you I will do my best to meet that criteria. And before we continue on, I just want to say that today is a very special day. And no, it's not because it's Valentine's Day. Remember, I'm single. It's another reason. 14th of February marks the very day, the first day I arrived here in Melbourne. And it means a lot to me because it's my first time really living abroad in a different country. And yeah, it's surreal to think that it's been 3 years since that day. Third year marking this year. And, 2 years of it being COVID really didn't help. But, I want to take today to just reflect and look back at what happened and, just look forward to other opportunities that are ahead of me in the future. And I hope to stay here in Australia for a little bit longer so that I can be with you guys and have some fun and take you guys along the journey. Now, a lot of things have happened in the past month. And if you guys have been keeping up with my Instagram stories, one of the major things that did happen was not so fortunate. And yes, I got COVID. It started on a Friday evening. I was playing a game with one of my friends and I started having a cold, or my nose was running. And at first I disregarded that thought and I was like, COVID, because it was a hot night. It was a very hot, warm evening, and my dumb brain was like, a big brain move. Let's switch on the fan to number 3 and face it directly to my face. And if you've ever lived in a tropical climate, you know that's a no idea, because by doing so, you'll end up with a cold. So my brain process was like, okay, maybe it's just because of that. I'm gonna go to bed after playing my games, and hopefully tomorrow morning it's all fixed, right? So that didn't happen because I woke up at 4 a.m. Look, I'm usually either awake at 4 a.m. or asleep at 4 a.m. It's kind of weird. I'm a weird person. But this case, I was asleep and I woke up because I was shivering and I was incredibly hot. I mean, I know I'm hot already, but I was hot under my blankets, okay? And I was like, oh, what the heck is happening to me? And for 15 minutes, I was just telling myself, okay, Ray, just go back to sleep. Just go back to sleep. Oh, shit. 15 minutes. I couldn't go back to sleep. So I went and found my medicine pouch. And thankfully, I found some cold and flu medicines there. So I popped some of that and also found some Panadol and popped some of that in and actually unlocked my door so that in case big emergencies did happen and I needed to be rushed to the hospital, easy access, so thinking ahead. But yeah, so went back to my bed and tried to fall asleep. I didn't fall asleep until, let's say, 8 or 9 a.m. But during that time that I was trying to fall asleep, my brain was sprinting on a marathon, and I was just thinking, okay, what could be causing this? And all my thoughts were converging on COVID. And lo and behold, I was COVID. I was COVID positive. And so that day I had to send the dreaded message to my housemates and being like, hey guys, I have COVID. And that day started my, my isolation period, which was supposed to be 7 days. But let me tell you, first 3 days of this isolation period was absolute chaos and hell, because my fever did not go down until the evening of the second day. And third day, I was coughing like crazy. I mean, it was cough galore. And the same day, I found out after ordering some pepperoni pizza that something strange was happening, because as I took a bite of the slice of this pepperoni pizza, I felt the crust, the bread, the pepperoni, the cheese, and everything, all the sauciness. But I couldn't taste the pepperoni. I was like, where the pepperoni at? Where the pepperoni? Yeah, so that's when I found out that, I lost my sense of taste and smell. It was weird. It's such a surreal experience not being able to have flavor correlated to the texture of the food that you're eating. Keep in mind that week I was in isolation and I was going broke because I spent almost $300 on just takeaway food alone. And if you've got COVID and you had to self-isolate, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, it was terrible. Shout out to one of my housemates who offered to cook food for me for a couple days near the end of my isolation period, because he really saved me from really going broke. Yeah, so on the seventh day, I was just really waiting to be out of this isolation period. And shout outs to one of my friends who managed to drop off a rapid antigen test kit to my house, because it was incredibly difficult to get a hold of those kits during that week. So I was like, okay, yes, fingers crossed. Hopefully I'm no longer positive. Hopefully I'm negative and I can get out of this ridiculous lifestyle. Did the test? Yeah, it wasn't what I expected.
Disappointed!
So that day and the day after, I was just really down, because at that point, I just really had enough of staying at home, that isolation lifestyle, and I just wanted it to end, literally end. And yeah, so thankfully on the 9th day, I was feeling really back to normal. My voice was not back to normal, but my physical body was back to normal, I think. And one of my housemates' friends managed to find a pharmacy that had rapid antigen test kits in stock. So my housemate reached out to me and he was like, yo, go and reserve some rat kits before they run out. And so I did, and we drove over to the pharmacy, drove back, and I tested myself, and the results were much more not positive but negative. And at that point I was finally out of isolation, but it took 9 days for me. Yeah, it was, if you've got COVID, I would not recommend getting it. Even though you get 3 months of immunity from the virus, I do not condone getting COVID. Okay, it's not the way. It's not the way. Get your booster shots, get your vaccination shots. That's the way to go. Okay, even myself, even though I've got it, I'm careful. I don't want to get it again, and it was PTSD experience. Okay, not the best experience. Now, after that, I thought I was back to normal. But for you gamers out there, my lungs were at 50% HP. They weren't back to normal. I was finding myself out of breath more often than usual. And I was like, am I just getting old or what? Joke's on you, I'm only 22. So it's bad. So it actually took another week and a half for my lungs to, go back to at least 95% capacity. The 5%'s kind of but you can hear me right now and I'm functioning normally. So, but yeah. So I spent a whole month of January just recovering, and it was bad. It was terrible. Now, jumping into February, It's a little bit better. It's much better. And one of the first things that happened was I was on Twitter, scrolling through news, anime, tech, uh, film, or any trending news out there. And then, I cannot forget looking at quality memes. Yes, quality memes. But anyways, I get a notification. You've been followed by the Fizzz. I'm thinking, what's the Fizzz? I have no idea what the Fizzz is. Fizzing in my Coca-Cola drink? What is it? So I click on the account, tap on the account, and I'm like, okay, so it's a new publication, publishing what you would call soft news, so what you would see on BuzzFeed, Time Out Melbourne, or Broadsheet, stuff like that. Something to keep you entertained during your day and kind of shift your mind away from all the negative mainstream media out there. And I was like, okay, cool. Thanks for following me. Probably connections later down the road. Give it 2 hours, I get a Twitter DM. Mind you, I don't get a lot of DMs. And if I do, they're probably scams. But something in my mind was like, maybe I should go check this out. I see the message. It sounds too good to be true. Message from the co-founders of this media platform. I'm like, a nice try, scammers. You got me this time, but sorry. But I was thinking about it. It was in the back of my mind. And I went back to it about another hour later. And I was like, maybe I should message them. And messaging them back was a good opportunity, because now I have, after going back and forth, I found myself now being one of their weekly contributors or writers for the platform. So thank you, James and Jamie, for bringing me on board. And sorry if I thought your message was a scam at first. I'm really sorry. But thank you for bringing me on board. And also, please be sure to check out our website. As I said, if you're tired of seeing all the depressing news that's happening in the world today, check out our website. Something entertaining, something uplifting. Please be sure to check out our website, thefizz.com. Now, there's another opportunity that did take place during the month, but I don't want to talk about it too much, or I'm not too sure how much I can talk about it. But what I'm going to say is I will expound on it more in detail in the next episode once I get the ball rolling. But the hint is I never expected to work at the same institution that I graduated from. Yeah. But overall, February has been a much better month than January. I would say I am at least one step ahead than where I was before in January. And that's the overall goal for this year and the few years in my life, is to always be one step. Excuse me, I'm like spitting everywhere. To always be one step ahead every month, so that I can get some progress and see where I end up in. There's still an endless amount of opportunities and things that might happen, future embarrassments and shenanigans that might happen, that you guys will be able to see if you tune into this monthly series. So yeah, make sure to tune in. And speaking of this monthly series, I know I said before that this was going to be an Instagram exclusive series, but Instagram does great with photos and reels. When it comes to uploading full-length videos like what you would see on YouTube, it's a bit of a mess. And so I did some thinking. I was like, And after some thought, I finally came to the conclusion that I'm gonna join the YouTube gang. And I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but if you want to tag along with my journey of becoming a full-time journalist, and if you like seeing myself being embarrassed in front of people, or catch me in other shenanigans, be sure to hit that subscribe button and also that bell notification icon if you want to stay up to date with my latest uploads and also anything I post in the community tab. If you've been watching until this part of the video, thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimasu. And I will catch you guys in next month's episode of Late Night Talks with Ray. what do the kids say nowadays? Is it sheesh?